Well, hello, everyone. So today I want to talk about boundaries, and it's very interesting. I'm sitting at a spot in Central Park, right next to Alice in Wonderland statue. I'll show you here. There you go. Yeah, so you could see it, and I just find it a very interesting analogy. In that movie, it was so unclear between fantasy and reality, so the boundaries were very, very blurry. And actually, that's what happens in our life too. Sometimes when we socialize with others or we get into relationships, we we want to connect with people in our lives, but at the same time we want them to respect our space or our values or our ways of being, and we don't always feel comfortable expressing those boundaries, thinking that maybe people will get upset or misinterpret, or we don't want to come off as rude. But the truth of the matter is, it is very important to establish boundaries and show people what works and what doesn't work for you. It is very crucial even in establishing relationships, because many people don't understand sometimes what boundaries are or what your boundaries are, and they think they're doing the right thing. They see no fault in their action, and when we start drifting away from them, it's actually hurtful and shocking to them, and that's how conflicts start. So I'll just, I guess, go over simple ways of establishing boundaries, and of course it in every situation it's different, in every relationship it's different, but in a romantic relationship, a simple way, not only in romantic, let's say if you're going away with a friend, and everybody is used to their own ways of doing things, so what you can do is just communicate. Number one is just to communicate. What is it that they need to be aware of? Like, let's say for me, I like when I wake up in the morning, before I start my day, I don't want to really talk for 5-10 minutes. I need to lay in my bed, relax, meditate, then get up and make my coffee, go over my emails, go over my messages, and then I am ready to connect. So yeah, and if you, let's say, if a person who is with you at the moment doesn't know that and tries to get into your space, that could be annoying, right? But clearly communicating and saying that, listen, this is how I am, and please, if I don't want you to take it the wrong way, but that it's important to me to take that space in the morning and do this, and I'm sure a person will be very receptive to that. And another way to really establish your boundaries, let's say if somebody crosses them or someone's energy becomes overwhelming for you, or you feel like person is too much in your space, it's okay to draw a little distance, in a way of that you don't share a lot of personal stuff, and you really take time between the meetings and between get-togethers, because some people, they mean well, and they're great people, but their energy sometimes could be a little too much for us, right? And we want to keep those friendships, but in your mind you need to be aware of that, and say, well, this is a person that I may not see as often, I may not speak to as often, I still want to keep the relationship, but in your mind you need to establish those boundaries and still be polite and still be nice and still be receptive, right? But not necessarily overextending yourself. So that's another way of respecting your own boundaries and other people's boundaries. And of course, a third way, sometimes people we feel disrespected, and instead of, our first reaction is to say, well, you did this and you did, and kind of coming from judgment, instead of, let's say if a person is late, a friend is always late, right? So instead of getting all upset and saying, well, it's so disrespectful that you're always late, and I feel disrespected, there's another way of expressing that, right? just to say, because you do want to show people how you want to be treated and you want to express your boundaries. Another way of saying that is simply say, I've noticed that every time we schedule to meet, you happen to be late, and I wonder if there's something I need to be aware of, or I just know it doesn't feel too good. So, there are other ways to allow yourself express your boundaries and really express what bothers you, but at the same time not sound disrespectful, right? Or not sound judgmental, because every time we put something on another person, like you disrespected me, or you did this to me, or you this or you that, that's coming from a place of judgment. Okay, my lovely ladies, hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye.